Hello everyone. I know this isn't the type of content we usually make, but Ginny wanted me to make this for her as a way to boost the algorithm, which I'm pretty sure isn't a real word. But since it's New Year's and I'm apparently a Girl of the Year, I guess I'll be reviewing every Girl of the Year doll up to this point. Ginny gave me direct instruction to be unbiased and not mean, but that's boring and I refuse to do it, so let's get into it. The first Girl of the Year doll was some girl named Lindsay. Personally, I'm not a fan of her because I think she would run me over with her scooter. If you've been a Lindsay stan at any point, there's a high probability you're suffering from the aftermath of being possessed by the spirit of a child that's just been given their first Nerf gun. She definitely seems like the type of person to commit several counts of vehicular manslaughter. I mean, what other reason would anyone have to use a scooter unless their license was revoked by the TMV? I forgot I have to be nice. Well, I do like the fact that she isn't the Girl of the Year anymore. That's about it. Next is the Girl of the Year 2003, Kaylee. I can only assume the gap between dolls was caused because everyone needed time to emotionally recover, and well, I feel like everyone knows a Kaylee. Like, actually, if you stopped any person on the street and asked them to name a Kaylee, they could recall at least 5 people they know, each with different spellings. I think she cares about the environment or something, which I guess was novel for 2003, so good for her. In 2005, Marisol became the first Girl of the Year to not give me heartburn by just glancing in her general direction. She likes to dance, which is pretty cool, and she did it before any of the other dolls. Marisol could have gone down the career path of being a professional gatekeeper, so I'm gonna have to mark points off for the fact that she just let Isabel happen. Next is Jess. Jess is what happens when girls like Lindsay are allowed to leave the neighborhood cul-de-sac. She has a motorized scooter to run people over with and a kayak to get rid of the evidence. I mean, she seems like a nice girl, but if a Jess ever invites you on a camping trip, you might want to get a living will notarized in advance. Nikki as Girl of the Year is proof that horse girls are people too. Okay, Ginny just informed me that I'm apparently the only one that had doubts about that before. Nikki seems alright. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd pick someone more interesting to be the chosen one, but I can respect the decision. Next is Girl of the Year 2008. For some reason, American Girl actually canceled the Girl of the Year line in 2008 because they decided to spare everyone from the plan of what they had created. The doll and story they made was so awful that everyone that's ever come in contact to her has mysteriously disappeared, and everyone's memory of her is entirely wiped. American Girl actually had to issue an official apology to the whole of the United States for the stress and trauma they caused to the nation with what they had planned. I don't think we'll ever know what American Girl had in store for the Girl of the Year 2008. And as far as I'm concerned, that was the best outcome of this situation. Okay, fine, the Girl of the Year 2008 was Mia. I know she's supposed to be an ice skater, but don't let that fool you, she knows too much. Girl of the Year 2009, Krissa. Krissa is unique in that the characters in her book hate her too. Usually you have to take the Instagram meme pages to find that kind of discourse. She was also the first 35-year-old mother of two to be Girl of the Year, which is a diversity win as far as I'm concerned. Although I can't confirm this, I'm fairly certain I remember seeing her at some point in the LuLaRoe documentary, but if she hasn't gotten there yet, I'm expecting an Instagram DM beginning with, "Hey girlie," within the next year or so. Lainey kicked off the 2010s with an omen of what's to come. Disappointment. Actually, Lainey's alright. She likes gardening and the outdoors, which is perfect because it means I'm very unlikely to come into contact with her. I think it would be illegal for me to say anything bad about Kanani considering she's my older sister and can personally assure that my life will be a living hell for the next 6 months if I did so. Luckily for her, Kanani was basically the best thing to ever happen to Girl of the Year line. Well, except for me. Her hair's cool, her collection's cool, and she drives me to the mall every once in a while. She may honestly be the most iconic Girl of the Year of all time, except, well, McKenna's an iconic Girl of the Year simply for the reason that she just kinda shut up. She's as basic as it gets, but she definitely inspired an entire generation of kids that thought they could be gymnasts, only to take lessons and realize they can't even do a cartwheel. McKenna was working overtime in 2012, which becomes especially clear when you remember the Girl of the Year 2013, Sarah. Oh, Sage. Sage is literally just Nikki with red hair, and worse too because she doesn't have superpowers. How many people do you know with a Sage doll? And of those people, how many do you know that love having her? If you have a Sage, you probably just look at her once in a while and go, yeah, she's there. There's not much else to say about her when it's Girl of the Year. And also, what do you even do with a hot air balloon? Isabel is the human equivalent of a boiled hot dog. She's like a default sim. If you walk into any Hobby Lobby, you'd instantly be able to find every single tenet of her personality. She can literally sew her own clothes, and she uses that ability to dress like every Zumba instructor you've ever seen. I can't lie, I'm kinda jealous of Grace. Sure, it sucks that her grandma's bakery is closing, but she's literally in Paris. And I don't think it's that crazy to say I'd rather be dead in Paris than alive in Arizona, but here we are. She's an 11-year-old self-made girl boss and a pretty decent pop star, so Grace, if you're out there, I feel like I could still bake a better cake than you. Next is me. I'm the Girl of the Year 2016, and I usually don't like to brag, but look at me. No, not her. Me. Despite beating Leah, I don't know who that is. I would personally never go outside, so I guess when this photo was taken, I was feeling a little quirky. I can't say anything bad about Gabriella because American Girl themselves already did all the damage. She's a truly Me 46 doll with a nearly entirely recycled collection. I can't blame her for any of that, because American Girl is to blame for clearly thinking we would want the literal equivalent of mayonnaise as the main character instead. She who shall not be named is the real enemy here, and Gabriella was simply working with what she was given with, which wasn't much. However, I can't help but be thoroughly impressed by the fact that American Girl tried so hard with this Voldemort parody and she still ended up looking like the reanimated corpse of a Taylor Swift wax figurine. Gabriella, you deserved better, but I hope you can rest easy knowing that you aren't the worst American Girl doll ever conceptualized. I don't know how to read, but I'm sure your poetry was fantastic. Luciana's my little sister, so I can't say anything bad about her, or else she'll probably end up sacrificing me as part of one of her nasal science experiments. Actually, by the way this year's going already, I'll take my chances. Who decided that galaxy print and holographic shoes were the way to go? They were already well outdated by 2018, and now they've reached the point of TikTok humiliation, which is just about the lowest point anyone could reach. Anyways, Lucy, next time you go to Mars, I wouldn't mind going with you. This planet's getting a little too weird. You can see her too, right? I'm not imagining things. I shouldn't be shocked that American Girl was able to make a more irrelevant doll than the one they literally copy-pasted from the Truly Mean line, but they continue to astound me year after year. Blair Wilson is such a blip in the Matrix, I honestly feel as though American Girl forgot they're supposed to make a new doll every year and that they couldn't just have kept Luciana forever because she's actually cool. Actually, if they had, I don't think anyone would have been able to notice because they still didn't know she was there when she was available. Blair's only personality trait is that she's gluten intolerant, which I don't know what else to say. She should just tolerate it. And then she plans a wedding. It is true that 50% of all marriages end in divorce, but it's also true that the statistic rises when you let a 10-year-old who's only ever conscious during Easter plan your entire wedding. I expect the Girl of the Year 2030 to be the story of that child of that divorce. Okay, American Girl tried really hard with Joss. They really did. They decided that for this decade, they were gonna go all in. This girl is a surfer and a cheerleader, which honestly just sounds like anyone I went to high school with trying to improve their resume before applying to college. It's not as crazy as they're acting like it was. Also, she's deaf and has her own mold specifically made to fit a hearing aid, which is actually really cool. Unfortunately, like all of us, Joss is a victim of the pandemic, and I don't think many of her surfing dreams played out all that well. She also gets bonus points for having literally the most terrifying stock photos ever. She doesn't look like that at all in real life. Whoever is in these stock photos is not Joss, and just to save yourself from a curse, you should probably say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror after watching this video, because whatever she does to you will be a better fate than whatever stock photo Joss has up her sleeve. Remember when I said they were going all in this decade? Yeah, I guess they changed their minds. Kira is literally just Blair if she bleached her hair and forgot to put on sunscreen during that wedding. The only thing she does is go to Australia and watch other people do things better than she does. I mean, at the very least, they let her aunts be gay, but only for 2 pages, because even that was enough to make women named Karen everywhere clutch their purses in fear because the 5th blonde doll they were planning to buy their child might teach them that love can mean more than them and their husband making eye contact once a month. Honestly, Kira as a Girl of the Year was truly an exercise in seeing how many stuffed animals American Girl could sell for $30 a piece before people realized they could just buy a Squishmallow. Finally, we've arrived in 2022 and there's a new Girl of the Year doll, Corinne. Now, I'll let Corinne have her moment. She has a new face mold and she's the first Girl of the Year doll interested in winter sports since... actually, she's the only American Girl doll interested in winter sports, unless you count Nikki realizing she's late to fighting the Abaddon. Corinne also has a little sister named Gwen that comes in accessory, which I think is the most accurate depiction of younger siblings American Girl's ever had. I wish Corinne well and hope she sends a message to American Girl to keep making actually unique, interesting Girl of the Year dolls, because I really don't want to make another video like this again. Okay, I'm done. Can I go now? Okay, so I don't know why I thought Leah making this video would be a good idea, but I don't think she has to worry about making another one.